Okay guys, in this video what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down exactly why it's so important that you allow yourself recovery time in order to reap the rewards and the benefits of the hard work and the training that you're currently doing, so that you can see improvements and keep improving as a player. Alright, now if we look at this graph here, the solid black line that goes across, that's your base level of fitness. So that's your level of fitness right now. If we follow the other solid black line, okay, as it goes down, this is your body going through fatigue and experiencing fatigue. So let's take, for example, you're doing a really hard training session, okay, and you're overloading the body and you're causing it stress that it's not used to. Your level of fitness is actually deteriorating and going down. You're stressing the body, okay, and then as we go up here, this is the time when you're allowing your body to recover. And what you can see is if you allow your body enough time to recover, it will actually adapt and grow stronger. And once fully recovered, your base level of fitness will have improved. And then we introduce the next training session, which overloads the body. And if it does overload the body and cause enough stress, then we become fatigued again. And then we recover. And then you're going to return to an even higher level of base fitness. And this is basically how you're going to improve as a player. Now, a lot of players argue that they need to be training every single day. I'm going to show you an example of what your body will go through if you try and do that. So if we look at the dashed black line, we can see that the player is going through a training session, causing stress and fatigue, and then they allow themselves some time to recover, but they introduce the next training session too early. Okay, so basically what happens then is that the body hasn't fully recovered, even back to the base level of fitness, and it's continued to become more fatigued. And we can see what's going to start happening here. We stop that session, introduce the next one, and then you'll get even more fatigued, and you'll never actually get back to the base level of fitness or see any improvements. And you can identify this when you start losing motivation. You have chronic fatigue, so you're always feeling tired, and even if you're training really hard, but you're never actually seeing much improvement in your level of performance. That can be down to something as simple as allowing yourself enough recovery time. Now, there's more than one thing that can cause fatigue. And a lot of people think that just by training in the gym or doing a session with your team, that's the thing that's going to be causing fatigue, and it's going to make you feel sore and stiff, and that's how you know that you've trained hard and that you're fatigued. But it's not always the case. There's more than one different type of stressor that can cause fatigue. So for example, we've obviously got the physical one that we just spoke about, but we've also got neuromuscular fatigue as well. So that can come about from speed training, and you won't actually physically feel that fatigue, but you may just notice that you're losing some speed, or you're not feeling as sharp as you normally are. Another type of fatigue as well is metabolic fatigue. So when you're just lacking energy, that's another stress. So for example, if you're training hard, but you're not refueling your body optimally and replacing muscle glycogen, then you're going to have constantly depleted levels of energy in your body, and that'll be another signal that you are fatigued as well. So it's not always physical pain or stiffness. It can be things like a loss of form, or feeling low on energy as well. Also constantly just feeling sleepy and tired. That can come about from things, other stresses to do with your lifestyle, such as even things like moving house, or maybe like problems with your girlfriend, and things like that. And also environmental stresses, such as what temperature you're training in or playing in, and whether you've done a lot of traveling as well. That can also cause fatigue. So if you are noticing that you're not improving but you're training hard, have a think about some things that might be causing fatigue there, and you might need to schedule yourself some extra recovery time in order to return a fresher player with more energy and have improved your base level of performance. Now, is there a difference between a player who's sort of relatively like a beginner and a player who's well trained? Well, yes, there is. If you're like a player in the Premiership, because your body is so well conditioned, it's going to take you less time to recover from a training session. So, So, for example, let's take someone like I'd say Cristiano Ronaldo. Okay, so Real Madrid. So he might be during a training session, which for a beginner would be insanely hard. Okay, and cause immense stress to the body and immense overload. So to a normal player, that training session might bring them somewhere down here. But to Ronaldo, because he's already well conditioned, it doesn't cause as much stress to his body. So he might only fatigue himself to this sort of level. Then obviously, if he's only here, then it's going to take him less time to recover. Okay, compared to the beginner who experiences a lot of stress, and it's going to take them a longer time to get back to their base level of fitness and experience an improvement in their base level of fitness as well. Okay, now how long can it take? How long will it take you to recover? So if you've got depleted energy stores, so depleted muscle glycogen after playing a match or after an intense session in the gym, then restoring those energy levels by what you're eating and nutrition will usually take around 48 hours. Okay, so if you don't recover optimally and refuel yourself optimally after that session, you're just going to not have fully topped up your energy levels again. And a bit like this graph, your levels of energy will never go back to their full level, and you'll always be trying to perform with less energy than you could have. Okay, which obviously means you're going to run out of steam. Also, if we're training for something like speed and we're stressing the nervous system, then repairing and fatigue to the nervous system takes a little bit longer to recover from as well. So that can take up to 3 days. And as I said, you can't feel that necessarily physically. You might just notice that you've lost a little bit of explosiveness. And research, there's been studies have actually shown that players who have done speed work and fatigue the nervous system, they will actually experience a decreased amount of force being exerted from the knee extensors, which can obviously that carries over to reduced jump height and reduced sprint performance as well. And that can take, as I said, up to 3 days to recover from that. Whereas if you've got decreased muscle glycogen levels, then you're looking around 4 to 8 hours if you are refueling optimally. Okay. Now I hope this helps. Any questions? Just let me know. I won't go into what you can do to recover, recovery strategies in this video, but I just wanted to outline the importance of allowing yourself that recovery time so that you don't continually try and perform without getting back to your base level of fitness. Okay, and you can give yourself recovery time in the way of days off, if you can schedule yourself a day off. Also making sure you get enough sleep as well, that will also help you. But yeah, if you don't allow yourself that time, then you are going to start experiencing overtraining, the effects of overtraining. So you're going to start feeling bored, lose motivation, and just feel tired all the time, and not really see any real results in the training that you're doing. Okay. Now in another video, I will go through the things that you can do to help your recovery and speed up your recovery. But I just want to outline in this one the importance of scheduling that time for you. I do have some players who come to me and think they need to be training every single day, and that having a day off is for wimps. But what I usually say is, if you feel that you can do extra training, then add that extra training on to the day where you're already training, and you're going to make an increased. You're going to increase the level of stress and the level of fatigue, but you're still going to allow yourself the recovery time to then have that opportunity where the body can adapt, repair stronger, and get rid of any aches and pains and increase your base level of fitness. Obviously, players who play at an elite level are able to, some of them are able to train every day without experiencing fatigue, but that's because they've got such a high level of conditioning that, as I said with Ronaldo, if he, for example, on the Monday, say on the Friday, I've got a match on Saturday, and on the Friday they just want to do a little bit of tactics work on the pitch, that is not going to cause much fatigue for him, because it's going to be fairly low intensity compared to what he's used to. So he's not going to experience much fatigue from that, and then he's going to have to he won't need much time to recover from that as well. Compared to a beginner who a session like that might cause more fatigue, and then they are going to need more recovery time to recover from that. Hope that's clear. Any questions, as ever, just let me know.